You're the director of the FBI. This is the largest sex trafficking case the FBI has ever been a part of. Buck stops at the top, and your testimony today is you have not reviewed all the files.
In a heated exchange, Eric Swalwell pressed Kash Patel on the Epstein files, asking a simple question. How can the public trust the investigation if the person at the top hasn't read everything? What followed were evasive answers, sharp accusations, and a deeper issue that goes far beyond politics. This isn't about party lines. It's about accountability. It's about transparency in a case involving sex trafficking, powerful names, and the integrity of federal law enforcement. When answers are unclear, public trust erodes, and that affects every American. Stay with me as we break down what this exchange really means for democratic oversight and your right to know the truth. Subscribe, and tell me in the comments, do you feel confident our institutions are being fully transparent with the American people?
Director, the first time you saw Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files. Did you close the files or keep reading?
I have reviewed not the entirety of the files, so I have.
You haven't reviewed all of the Epstein files?
Personally, no.
You're the director of the FBI. This is the largest sex trafficking case the FBI has ever been a part of. Buck stops at the top, and your testimony today is you have not reviewed all the files.
What I've been doing is been busy providing the safest country this country has seen in modern U.S. history in historic speed, because the men and women of the FBI are given the resources to reduce the homicide rate, to reduce the drug trafficking rate, to reduce the amount of children that are being trafficked, and the number of pedophiles.
It sounds like those children being trafficked would appreciate the director reviewing the files. You said you don't know the number of times Trump's name appears in the files, so it could at least be 1,000 times. Is that right?
The number is a total misleading factor. We have not released anyone's name in the Epstein files that has not been credible.
Director, could it at least be 1,000 times?
We have released every piece of legally permissible information.
Okay,
you can characterize the numbers however you want it.
You're claiming my time, Director. It sounds like if you don't know the number, it could at least be 1,000 times.
It's not. It's not.
Is it at least 500 times?
No.
Is it at least 100 times?
No.
Then what's the number?
I don't know the number, but it's not that.
Do you think it might be your job to know the number?
My job is to provide for the safety and security of this country. My job is not to engage in political innuendo so you can go out to the sticks and get your 20-second hit in your fundraising article. Keep going, reclaiming your time, because the people of California are being underserved by your representation.
If the president is not implicated, why not release everything that involves him?
We have released everything, the president and anyone else's side, that is credible and lawfully be able to be released. Your fixation on this matter and baseless accusations that I'm hiding child pedophiles is disgusting. Anyone that says that needs to look at the stats alone and go back to the state of California, who's receiving the biggest surge in FBI resources through my redeployment, because the cities of Los Angeles, San Diego, and San Francisco need it.
Director, remembering your oath to tell the truth, did you ever tell Donald Trump his name is in the files?
I have never spoken to President Trump about the Epstein files.
Did you ever tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The Attorney General and I have had numerous discussions about the entirety of the Epstein files and the reviews conducted by our team.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
And we have released where President Trump's name is in the Attorney's file.
It's a simple question. Did you tell the Attorney General that the President's name is in the Epstein files?
During many conversations that the Attorney General and I have had on the matter of Epstein, we have reviewed.
The question is simple.
Who
did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or no?
Why don't you try spelling it out?
Yes or no, Director?
Use the alphabet.
Yes or no?
No? A, B, C,
Director,
D, E, F?
it sounds like you don't want to tell us. Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files?
Why don't you try serving your constituency by focusing on reducing violent crime in this country and the number of pedophiles that are illegally harbored in your sanctuary cities in California? I'll work with you on that.
Regular order, Mr. Chairman.
I'm
the laws and gentleman from California.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The question has been asked and answered.
You've not answered it, and we will take your evasiveness as a consciousness of guilt. Director, did Donald Trump ever say to you, just find and release the entire truth? Don't worry if I'm in it?
The instructions from the administration were to release all credible information, and we have done that.
Did Donald Trump ever provide information about Jeffrey Epstein as an informant?
Donald Trump has not been, and I can only speak for the FBI, an informant of the FBI.
So, Director, you've played this cute shell game where you say you can't release everything because the court has said that it legally is not allowed to be released. But the court calls bullshit Judge Richard Berman said that when you went to the court, quote, information contained in the Epstein grand jury transcripts pales in comparison to Epstein investigation information and materials in the hands of the Department of Justice. So let's move on, Director. You wrote a book called Government Gangsters. You identified 20 individuals in that book. You put me on that list, at the top of the list. Thank you. My children find it flattering. 20 of those individuals have been investigated or have had adverse actions. Director, considering that you have identified these people as, quote, government gangsters, will you recuse yourself from making any investigation decisions about these individuals?
Anyone that has been terminated at the FBI has been done so
the
because
question
they failed
again,
to meet the muster in
Director,
their constitutional
I will
obligation.
work on the audio-visual capabilities.
I'm going to borrow your terminology and call bullshit on your entire career in Congress.
I'm reclaiming my time,
It has been
Director.
a disgrace to the American
Director,
people.
I'm reclaiming my time.
You can reclaim your
You
time all you
recuse
want.
yourself.
Mr. Chairman, you're going to allow a witness to speak this way?
Mr. Chairman, would you
You
give...
recuse yourself,
The gentleman has no time.
Mr. Chairman, would you
defend.
admonish the witness not to insult members?
The gentleman has no time.
Mr. Chairman,
The
just
committee will remember.
quick point of order. Could the gentleman be extended an additional 20 seconds to complete his thoughts, since the witness decided to interrupt him
And
continuously?
then the witness will be able to respond if he wants. We'll make sure he
Thank
has
you.
time to do that.
My question
We'll
is,
continue.
will you, Director, recuse yourself, yes or no, from investigating or making decisions about the 60 individuals, including myself, that you identified as government gangsters? Yes or no?
Time of the gentleman has expired. The
No.
witness may respond if he would like.
And the answer was no, as I heard.
Correct.
Okay. The gentleman.
What we just watched was not just another loud exchange in Congress. It was a raw test of transparency at the highest level of federal law enforcement. Representative Eric Swalwell pressed FBI Director Kash Patel over one simple issue: the Epstein files. Specifically, whether the director had personally reviewed all of them, whether he knew how many times former President Trump's name appeared, and whether that information had been clearly communicated to the Attorney General. Here's what stood out. First, the director admitted he had not reviewed the entirety of the Epstein files himself. In the largest sex trafficking investigation in the Bureau's history, that is not a minor detail. He defended himself by pointing to falling crime rates, redeployments of agents, and broader national security priorities. That may be true, but the question wasn't about overall crime statistics. It was about oversight and command responsibility. Second, when pressed on how often Trump's name appears in the files, the director rejected high numbers, but said he did not know the exact count. That exchange became the core tension of the hearing. On one side, a lawmaker arguing that leadership requires precise knowledge in a case of this magnitude. On the other, a director insisting that raw numbers can be misleading and that only credible, legally releasable information should be made public. Then the hearing took a sharper turn. Questions about whether the director informed the Attorney General directly about Trump's name were met with repeated deflection. The answer never came in a clean yes or no. Instead, we saw political jabs, accusations of fundraising motives, and broader attacks about crime in California. The focus shifted from facts to confrontation. Now let's talk about what this means for the American public. At the center of this debate is transparency. In a democracy, the public has a legitimate interest in knowing whether powerful individuals are treated differently under the law. If the FBI withholds information that could legally be released, that erodes trust. Trust is not a luxury in a republic. It is the foundation. But there's another side. Due process matters. Simply appearing in investigative files does not mean guilt. Releasing raw, unverified, or context-free information can destroy reputations without trial. The director argued that only credible and legally permissible material should be released. That principle protects everyone left, right, famous, or unknown. It protects your privacy. It protects your presumption of innocence. So here's the tension. How do we balance transparency with due process? How much disclosure strengthens democracy and how much turns into public spectacle? There is also the issue of institutional accountability. If the head of the FBI has not personally reviewed every file in a historic case, does that signal delegation and efficiency or detachment from a matter of enormous public importance? Should Americans expect the director to know every detail, or to trust his team and focus on broader strategy? And what about tone? When hearings devolve into insults, the public loses. Oversight is not supposed to look like cable news. It is supposed to look like careful questioning and clear answers. When it turns into crossfire, voters walk away confused and cynical. For everyday Americans, this hearing hits close to home. If you were accused of something, you would demand fairness. If a powerful figure is accused, you would demand transparency. You likely want both. That is the real struggle playing out here. So ask yourself, do you believe the government releases enough information in high-profile investigations? Or do you worry about trial by media? If you were on a jury tomorrow, would you feel confident that politics had not shaped what you were allowed to see? This is bigger than one name in one file. It is about whether federal institutions can operate above partisan warfare while still being accountable to the people who fund them and live under their authority. I want to hear from you. Do you think the director handled this responsibly, or did the hearing reveal gaps in transparency? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share this analysis with someone who sees it differently. Let's have a serious discussion not just about personalities, but about the standards we expect from those who hold power in our name.